We've all heard the saying, you fear what you don't know. And it's a popular saying for a good reason. It's true, as Jim Abernethy helps explain in this interview segment about why we have Shark Week and not Deer Week.
In the United States, 4 to 5 million people a year get bitten by a dog, an average of every 40 seconds, and an average of about 16 to 20 people a year actually die from that bite. Cows are at about 20 people a year, deer at 135 people per year, and one of my favorite statistics, 1,600 people are attacked and bitten every single year in the state of New York by people. We can't have People Week, we can't have Cat Week or Deer Week, Cow Week, or even Dog Week, but because less than half of 1% of the population even goes in the water to look for a shark, very, very few people actually know what they're like. And those few people only spend a fleeting glimpse, maybe 1 week out of their whole lifetime.
Now I want to stop here for a moment and reflect on everything Jim just said, because there are so many good points. Yes, there are more shark divers on the planet than ever before, but still, the vast majority of people have never seen a shark. Many have never even seen the ocean. And even hardcore shark divers still only spend a fraction of their lives underwater and in the presence of sharks. If you're like me, you grew up landlocked in the middle of a continent, and the only thing you knew about sharks was what you saw on TV. So let's be honest, it's fun to get a little spooked by a mysterious ocean predator that, if you're at home on your couch in the middle of Kansas, might as well be a science fiction creature. But no matter how many times a deer or a cow kills someone, you just can't get that scared of things that you're familiar with, which explains this phenomenon of how people are no longer scared of sharks once they go diving with sharks. So, with all that in mind, just how important is the depiction of sharks from TV producers and the media?
Operations like mine that live at sea, doing back-to-back shark expeditions, living away from land for over 15 years, we know the truth, and they don't want anything to do with us. It is the biggest myth probably on the planet, and the media makes a fortune. They make an absolute fortune portraying this beautiful creature that's been responsible for molding our ecosystem for hundreds of millions of years into this beautiful Garden of Eden. They make it into a monster and make it hard for people like me to save our oceans. Not only for the sharks that I love, but for our own existence here on the planet. Because whether you live on a coastal range and you enjoy the ocean like you do, or if you live in the middle of the state, in the middle of the United States where you don't even see the ocean, over 70% of the air we breathe, over 50% of the protein we eat comes directly or indirectly from our oceans. We are killing our own biosphere. And it's up to those few of us that know the truth about sharks, like you and I, that we get the truth out there so that we realize that sharks, as the apex predator, are the controlling factor in keeping our blue planet healthy, where 97% of the life comes from, our oceans.
One last thought. Maybe there actually kind of is a People Week, except it's more like People Year, because all year round the news loves to talk about murder and war and crime. And if it's a serial killer, man, we get obsessed with that. They get entire TV episodes dedicated to them. So in yet another twist, maybe it's not the sharks we should be looking at, maybe it's not the media we should be looking at, maybe it's ourselves we should be looking at, and why we're attracted to such horrible things.